saying happy, and it's Pride Month's almost over. We have about halfway into the month. But I'm not going to talk about Pride Month. Just in, as of recent, Activision just got their pee-pee smacked. Now, everybody knows you're going to have to pay about 400, not 400, sorry. Turn it down a little bit, the light. Anyways, Activision just got their pee-pee smacked, hardcorely. And what I mean is, Black Ops 4, no campaign. Black Ops 4, you buy the game, but you can't buy any additional DLCs. It won't be sold separate with just the regular core game. So, Activision, being dumb as fuck as they all can be, pretty much have now reverted to being extremely greedy, stay very low under the radar with their greedy predatorial practices with Call of Duty World War II. But Activision has now stooped to a whole new low, worse than EA, and lo and behold, $120 to buy the deluxe edition for Black Ops 4 to get all the maps. Now, I see something wrong here. I mean, we have Call of Duty fanboys out there. You know, let's just not kid ourselves right up the get-go. But the truth and the majority of the matter is the fact that Activision, being greedy as all as you can get out, can't really complain. Well, we gotta complain about this one, but I think Treyarch should have done something to compensate for this problem. So I guess this is gonna be the final farewell of Call of Duty for good, and Battlefield is gonna reign supreme on top of it. Hi Karina, how you doing, sweetie? So, Call of Duty is going to officially rest in peace. Activision, you guys did some really fucked up things, but this is just beyond fucked up. Activision, you guys need to, like... Oh. I did that during the weekend. I'm not doing it anymore. So, Activision being greedy as motherfuckers, I don't think I can really say anything other than Call of Duty is gonna die out. I see this happening. The multiplayer looks like complete utter trash. I mean, a battle royale, and then now you have esports, who's making it very hard for people to even play it. Esports is now taking over video games, a certain select field, and being under, with this day and age, I mean, Call of Duty wasn't made to do this. Esports just ruined it. I mean, the other day I was at the Trumbull Mall, and look, I played Fortnite once. Didn't like it. But to me, I'm not a Fortnite person, but I've seen t-shirts that have Fortnite. My personal perspective of Fortnite is something that, to me, it's too cartoonish. I mean, I tried playing it, I just can't get into it. That's just my own personal thought. So yeah, I've been trying to play various video games. Been playing, certain things have been going on. I'm lucky I didn't get I didn't get invited to an E3 event, because had I gotten invited to an E3 event and seen what I know what I hear and see, but if I was there physically and I saw what was going on, I don't think there was certain games I would buy in the upcoming middle of 2018, beginning of 2019. Couldn't, you know. So, oh. Anyways, so that's gonna be my whole thing. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm done with Call of Duty. I just recently in my other videos, just done Zombie Army. It's okay. Just trying to figure out. It's kind of like, I'm a little disappointed in it because it's not a first-person shooter. And I'm more like, okay, they give me a sniper rifle, Tommy gun, or whatever the case may be, but I'd rather see it like a first-person shooter, as if they did for Killing Floor. I'm sorry I got rid of Killing Floor. I really am. But it ran its course, it ran its time. Being into the Dark Souls and stuff like that, I mean, I was playing God of War. Eventually I'll get back into it. And the other thing is I played Dark Souls, I felt like I was insulted. So I didn't play any more Dark Souls than I generally would. Yeah, so I'm kind of like, I think I'm gonna take a break from the Dark Souls, like, go on a Dark Souls hiatus for a while. Eventually, I may not get Grand Theft Auto 5 again. I got rid of that one because I was bored. I have so many games in my library, like, I could just, right now, I just can't care right now. Of course, I'm playing some B-rated games, you know. As of recent, yeah, Zombie Army. Earlier today, I was playing some Monster Hunter World. Just wasn't really into. I wasn't really feeling it. For anything else, I mean, I was normally gonna do this on Friday nights. But this is just a sub video till tomorrow night, because tomorrow night there'll be a bigger video made. So during the daytime, you know, everything going on during daytime has been very, it's been relatively hard, to make up with new videos. Certain things have been coming out. Of course, you know, I still haven't closed my curtains yet, so, talking about the shit about Black Ops 4. I mean, I've been hearing a lot of angry, I've actually seen some angry comments, like on Twitter and a few things here and there about Black Ops 4. And I have to agree. I mean, no campaign, no buy. I'm sorry, but I thought Treyarch was going to actually redeem themselves. But we know it's not Treyarch's fault because it's Activision. And, of course, the rumor was Michael Condrey, quote-unquote, left. Or did he leave Sledgehammer? It was one of the two he left. No, he joined up with Activision, but he left. He left Sledgehammer to go with Activision. And I think what's going to happen is, I just don't like where Call of Duty has been going. If I want to play Call of Duty, I think I might jump back to like World at War or Black Ops 1 and 2. Maybe 3. But I've beaten 3. I was okay with it. It wasn't like my big thing, but it is what it is. So right now I'm drinking some water. A little bit. Note to oneself though. The one game I probably would play, but I need to be really high, is what was it? Takes me a while to think now. Wait a minute. I see smoke coming out of my ears. Can't think of the game. But, yeah, there's really nothing else I can really talk about tonight. I mean, I just gotta get it out there about Black Ops 4. Do not buy it. Unless you really want to pay an arm and a leg. I mean, at least you'll have a leg up on things. No, I'm just messing with y'all. So, anyways, this came in from Mr. Soldier HD. And this is really sad because apparently, some of you who aren't aware that Activision remains silent for Black Ops 4, Call of Duty World War II DLC. And what's happening is now, what Mr. Soldier's trying to say is they're taking all the DLC maps, and it's really, from what I heard, it's going to be very shitty. They're going to merge all the maps together. So I think it's going to be like 5 on 5. That's part of the rumor I heard was a 5 on 5. Another part was supposed to be 100 people in a server, but I really don't think the Call of Duty server is really going to hold up to 100 people, so nobody knows. This even went through what 8 Thoughts had said on YouTube about Black Ops 4. But, you know, I mean, people may get it for the Battle Royale. I mean, there's some people who want to do the campaign, and there's some people who are just like, what is this? I mean, is this kind of like the a shit version of Call of Duty? I mean, I thought Call of Duty World War II was shitty, but I think that, I mean, it's going to depend on how many people are really going to buy Black Ops 4. I think Activision, in my personal opinion, from what I've seen in videos and thoughts of others, is that Activision has really shot themselves in the foot. And it's really sad that, you know, these publishers are resorting back to the sleazy tactics they call greed. So, as you can tell, so tonight is just a sub video. Like I said, it's a sub video. It's not going to be an hour long like it normally would be on a Friday night. Excuse me, I had an Italian combo. And, anyways, so that's pretty much the up and up. Just a little heads up that, you know, Activision got their pee-pee smacked because now they're trying to correct themselves, justifying, saying that, oh, you know, we didn't say that. It's like, yeah, you did, Activision. Because now you're insinuating that you're going to get people to pay $120-something to get the deluxe edition. For what? Because you want people to buy deluxe edition because you want people to buy all the maps at once. You know, now somebody buys a regular game for about $60. So now, what is it? You gotta let people wait for like a year, 2 years before even a DLC would even remotely come out separately. I mean, that's kind of like, that's one of the shitty antics that fucking EA did with the Star Wars Battlefront issue. But I know this is, like I said, this is just a sub video. It's an hour long. Not, you know, like tomorrow night it'll be an hour long video live stream. Just generally putting this out there tonight because I know tomorrow night I want to talk about something else that's not gonna be Black Ops 4. Anyways, so yeah, it's not something I like. Hey Army, what's up? So, it'll be interesting to see how this works out with Activision and Treyarch. I mean, it's kind of like what Ford and Firestone when the finger pointing went around with the freaking SUV tires flying off. of a Ford Explorer, and that's when Ford and Firestone ended up calling it quits. So this is going to be interesting. Like I said, I'm wiping my hands clean of Call of Duty for good. So eventually it'll be maybe Battlefield, but I have the Battlefield that came out like I think two years ago. So anywho, I think that's pretty much what I just had to get off my mind, which is not really saying a whole hell of a lot, but it'll do. Oh, she and her. Yeah, sadly enough, Pride Month and us trans people and everybody else in the community are fighting a good fight. Yep. Yeah, we're still in the middle of the Pride Month. So, I just, in lieu in support of my fellow trans and my trans sisters and trans brothers who are serving in the military under this whole nightmare fiasco. And also for everybody else in my community who are still fighting what's going on, everywhere. Not just in Connecticut, New York, California. I mean, it's just everywhere. But, yeah, so that's pretty much it. Eventually, like I said, this was supposed to be a sub video, but, it's been pretty interesting, with the topic of Black Ops 4 coming out and Activision being greedy. So the rumor is it's actually true that Michael Condrey is now in Activision. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Everybody thinks that, like, when you have straight Pride Month, see, that was been talked, that was been in the tabloids a lot, for straight Pride Month, but there's a lot of backlash between that, with straight people having the straight Pride Month. I mean, that kind of doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't go hand in hand. I mean, there's some people who say it. Well, if you really think about it, a long time ago, I would see that, well, maybe. I mean, like I said, that's kind of like a really hard, it's kind of like a touchy subject about, straight people having their own Pride Month. I mean, you have the straight allies. I mean, you could see that happening. But for, like, somebody, it's, like I said, touchy subject. Well, you have straight allies who support the community, and then actual straight people who, like, I'll give you an example of the backlash I heard. It's not really pleasant. I try not to step on anybody's toes with this one. Apparently, there's some people in my community who think straight people don't deserve a Pride Month because they haven't done anything worth fighting for. But then again, like I said, I don't get involved with that sort of thing. No, there's some people who actually hate. There's some people out there, like, for sake of argument, tend to agree to disagree. We would have the let's just put the gay community off to the side. Put the straight community off to the side. Now, if there was like a Pride Month kind of thing, I think it would be on both parties. I mean, this is my personal opinion, like, I think that both parties, it doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, black, Asian, whatever the case may be, I think it should be a unity thing. It shouldn't be, for Pride, for either way you look at it, for Pride, that's more like, that's kind of like categorizing one from the other. It's kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Being too divided, I guess. I guess that's like being too divided or something. I don't know. You know what? That's a point right there. Yes. But apparently, you know, it's like I said, you know, with today's society, I mean, you got a point there, and you got some people who just feel like they don't want to be part of it, and one way's out the other. It's really hard. It's like, for me, that's kind of like one of those things, I see it in a different perspective, really quick. I actually see it in a different perspective where I believe that it shouldn't be considered like a pride event. I think, if anything, if it was like an event, it should be more of like a unity event. Kind of like you want to put both the gay and the straight people, have a unity, rather than trying to have it individually or categorized and try to be separate from one another and thinking one's better than the other. That's kind of like, to me, I'd rather see everybody together, celebrating it. Yeah. It's a whole mess. I mean, I could sit here and try to, like, clarify it. I mean, I've had issues like that before. Oh, wait. You're in, so you're in Canada. See, I don't know how much of that's really true, though. But then again, like I said, I try to tend away from, like, certain things of my, I mean, I shouldn't say I tend away from certain things of my community, but I just tend away from the politics and stuff like that. Yeah. What's up? So yeah, it's interesting. You know, it is what it is. I mean, people have to be judgmental somewhere. I'm typically not one to judge either. So, yeah, so that pretty much summed up everything I was supposed to talk about tonight. Yeah, you know what? I feel bad for that, because this kind of goes back, well, this is something I don't like talking about, because back during when we had a case here in the 80s, and this happened when Reagan was in office. And when the AIDS epidemic was growing, the majority of the people who were infected with AIDS, especially here in the U.S., weren't even treated at all. Pretty much, they saw a gay man who had AIDS, didn't know what it was, they put him in a black garbage bag and cremated him. I saw a video on it, and it was just really, really screwed up. That was one thing that kind of set the milestone to where it took a very, very long time for any gay man or anybody in the LGBTQ community to speak up and get some kind of movement going. It's really messed up. I had a friend of mine who was actually, let's see, in 86, 87, I had a friend of mine who was actually bi. And at an early age, he had the AIDS virus. Go figure. But without that being said, it was kind of, that was one of the hardest things to ever see, you know, somebody go through that shit, and never good. You know, it's never a good thing, and to this day, I mean, I have issues though. I have issues when, you know, somebody who's sick or paraplegic, and, you know, you have somebody who's like not being nice about something, and then again, like I said, that's a two-way street. I mean, for me being in between, well, seeing it on both different perspectives, it's more like it's on fault between both parties, really. It's not just the LGBTQ, it's the LGBTQ and the heterosexuals. It's the two of them. They always say two wrongs don't make a right, and both sides are pretty much wrong, in my own opinion. I think if that was to be resolved, I think both parties should be working it out together. It shouldn't be just like marginalizing this or that. It's kind of like your neighbor having like this brand new truck that he bought. There you go. See, my perspective is that we're all, and a lot of people see it different. They don't really take heart, because what they do is they actually say that, oh well, we're not all human. Like, yeah, we are all human, and we're all created in God's image. I mean, to me, I see it where everybody's should be unified, not going this. I mean, this is my perspective. I mean, for crying out loud, I was living on both sides of this, you know, I was on the straight side and then on the LGBTQ side, so I see it in two different perspectives. Oh no, it's not an argument, it's just, nobody should be, you know, there's no category saying that, okay, you have to be special. I mean, I've been on both sides, so I'm the one in between that's just got, like, yeah, I just see on both different perspectives. That's just my own opinion. There's a lot of marginalization. It's not just in the US, it's not just in Canada. It's everywhere. I mean, it's gonna be like that till the end of time, or some miraculous miracle happens where it's like everybody's just one, and that's it. But I can't argue about that. There's a video last year, it was in July. I made a video based on equality. Now, what I meant by this, it was on the 4th of July, I lit up some Chinese lanterns, or I was with family, we were lighting up Chinese lanterns, and in the video, it was equality. We didn't use American fireworks, we used Chinese lanterns. So, in one of the videos, there's like over 200 something videos. It's in one of the videos, and it just shows just the lanterns flying up. You know, almost like barely any sound or anything like that. And it was done in memoriam for everybody. It wasn't just for one specific individual. And then about last weekend, 2 weekends ago, I went to a pride event, and we always make sure people are equal. Well, the problem is the Earth is overpopulated, but we won't get into that one. No, what can cause extinction, and this is... Forget about, like, forget about, like, everything being out of existence. One thing that can screw existence is an atomic blast. And then what? Well, here's the thing. The planet Earth, believe it or not, is overpopulated. Now, years ago, I found this out years ago by a friend of mine who actually owned a little shop. And we were talking, and he told me, he says, yeah, the problem is, it's not... What's happened is the Earth is so heavily populated. It's kind of like if you go hunting, and let's say you run into a colony of deers that are just being born like out of control. And how do you reduce that number? I'm saying with the deers. Well, of course, with deer you hunt them, for game or whatever the case may be. But because the Earth is so popular with people, it's almost like no-win situation. They said that back during 9/11 too, about Islam. That almost had, we had an incident here back after September 11th, and was it 9/11, when the Twin Towers got hit. Oh, yeah, I know. And in Africa, they actually burn you in a tire. I know. One of my relatives has traveled the world. No, the resources aren't evenly spread. They're scattered. Very thin. Yeah. Even in Saudi Arabia, if you're caught stealing, they cut your hand off. That same thing if you look at a woman on, like, during the week except Thursday. If you look at a woman before Thursdays, they gouge your eye out. I don't have to. Well, it depends on how you look at that perspective, because there's some people who can, like I said, who can tend to agree to disagree. It's not an everyday surprise. I mean, at this point, when you start hearing people saying stuff like that, it's almost like, yeah, you don't know what you really want to say about it. Well, actually, hold on. I can't pronounce names, so bear with me here. I can't pronounce name, but I'll have to agree with something with that thought, because here's the thing. And this kind of like, I mean, political. Okay, I can get to the G-rate versions. that goes back to what was said earlier, yes. The USA is so... Yeah, I know, right? The USA is... No, it's actually truth, because the USA is far behind on a lot of things. It's not... Forget about the laws. It's a lot of things. Brazil is too. Actually, Brazil has the higher crime rate, as far as I know. Oh, you have Western. Yeah, can't argue about that one. It is what it is. I mean, not many people... I mean, we can go around the world cultural and talk about what goes on and stuff, but I mean, no matter where you go, there's gonna be problems. Doesn't matter if it's the US or wherever. Like I said, like you said, it is what it is. You can't... I mean, we can just sit here and we can debate and talk about politics, and still, the minds of a few may change the mind of a few, may not change the mind of a few. It kind of really depends, and nothing good ever comes from that. Yeah, it to the point until they, and yeah, until World War II started happening, which is very muddy. I'm more of a lover, not a fighter, so... There's so many, you know what? There's so many people who fight what they believe, there's people who die what they believe in, and there's people who really don't stay on the front lines and they don't want to do shit. Hey, Ronnie. Yeah, Islam does. It's not... Every country hates this country right now because of what's going on. But it is what it is, you know? So, yeah, it's everywhere, you know, hate's everywhere. Too much hypocrisy and everything else in between, and of course, you know, everybody else has to have to put their 2 cents in. But then again, if you really think about it, what can you do? Well, yeah, because think about this. I'll give you a side note. Yeah, but you know what? I've been in the front lines before, so not new to me, you know. Been in the front lines, did what I had to do, got my hands dirty, shit like that, fought what I believed in. And that's why now I sit back and look at the different perspectives of things. Nothing new. I mean, it's kind of funny when some people think that, oh, you haven't done anything. Yeah, I have. I've done my fair share. Hell, I've lost a couple of friends of mine in the process. But it is what it is. Anyways, so that pretty much sums it up. And, anyways, check out the next video. Be posting up at some point. So, yeah, this is Michelle saying bye for now. Peace, love. Ooh, excuse me. Peace, love, and happiness. And then, check out my next video tomorrow night. It'll be, over about like an hour. I think it's about an hour long. Alright, anyways, I'm off. Bye for now.